Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47 is the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. The officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The officer Tatum show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47 is the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. The officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The officer Tatum show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning big, you might as well go on today.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies? Welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. I hope you guys had a good holiday weekend and you remember the people who sacrificed it all so that we can have freedoms. So never forget that. Always stay humble and remember, and I'll just say this, remember that there was an incredible cost for your freedom. And not an incredible cost through financial gain. It was an incredible cost through people losing their lives and risking it all and going to a foreign land never to return, going and saying goodbye to their family for the last time. I just want us to understand that. And I know most of y'all are watching this understand it. Now, these other people out there, your cousin, them, they may not get it, but I'm sure you get it. All right, I want to start with this too. While you guys are getting in, I want to tell you guys about my campaign, the Prison Fellowship campaign. We do 2 campaigns a year for them to help them raise money for an incredible cause. In the wintertime, we help them raise money to get young people gifts for Christmas. And these are kids whose parents are incarcerated. They get the gospel of Jesus Christ. They get a gift. They get love and support and things that they deserve and that they actually need, because obviously it's not their fault that their mom and daddy decide to do something to go to jail, whatever that may be. Now, during this season, we help send them to summer camp. So our goal is to send 250 kids to summer camp. And right now we are at, let me see if I can scroll down a little bit. I'll scroll it. Right now we're at 54 kids. Our goal is 250 kids we're going to send to summer camp. And these are children whose parents are incarcerated. They're not only going to get in a tremendous experience being at a summer camp, but they're going to be able to have access to hearing the gospel of Jesus Christ, fellowshipping with other kids, building and changing their lives forever. Something that just cannot be congruent in any other aspect of life, but a tremendous opportunity like this. And you guys know that have been a part of this with me. I am a big supporter of Prison Fellowship because they actually make a difference. These are real kids' lives being changed. It's not some nonprofit organization that siphon money to put in their pockets and they don't do nothing for kids. I have been to facilities. I've been to the women's prison here in Phoenix, where I saw with my own eyes and spoke to and literally teared up listening to moms who are incarcerated, who are on the prison fellowship path, meaning that they go to classes every day, they're going to counseling, they're doing a lot of things to help them be reintroduced into society. But their children are the children that we're sponsoring and helping. So it's tangible, it's real. And I want everybody that's watching this to help. And you don't have to give $200 because I think it costs about $200 to completely support one kid going to the camp. But I want you guys to support whatever you can. So we'll put the link in the description section or the link in the comment section, but I want you to support in whatever you can. If it's $1, you have sowed a seed and contributed to the success of a young person having a life-changing experience. I want you to not take that for granted. Any seed that's planted is a seed, okay? So if you can only give $1, if you can only give $5, if you've been blessed enough and you have financial stability enough, or you have the flexibility in your income to give $200, that's to help one kid. $2,000, obviously that's 10 kids. And so we're going to do a donation like we always do. I got to think of the amount and then we'll do a match. So whatever I do, if you match it, we'll do something special for you. We did it last time and I just went to dinner with one of the guys who contributed to the last campaign. We had a dinner at the Inns here in Arizona. So we'll have opportunities for that as well. But I just want you guys to know it exists. You see our goal is 250 kids. Let's make it happen. God bless you guys and thank you. Now let's get into the news. Karmelo Anthony was charged as an adult. I'm sorry, something in my throat. Karmelo Anthony charged as an adult in this case against the young man, Austin Metcalf. Let me just say this real quick before I play this clip. And shout out to Anton. This is his video that we got. We got this from his channel. But let me just make this point real quick. I told y'all from the very beginning that Karmelo Anthony needs to make a plea deal. I do not see how this kid is not found guilty in the court of law based on the statutory requirements. Being charged with murder, first-degree murder, isn't a difficult charge for what transpired in this incident. Now, many defense attorneys will say that they may find him guilty of a lesser charge, which is manslaughter. And manslaughter, he probably spent about 5 years in prison and that's it. That could be a possibility, but it's not guaranteed. With them charging him as an adult, if he is found guilty on first-degree murder, he is going to do a significant amount of time in prison. Significant. And I do not think this young man was as malicious as life in prison or 40 years in prison. Now you reap what you sow, right? Like I was just telling y'all, you sow good seed, you blessing somebody. You stabbing people and living this lifestyle, it's going to lead you down a path of destruction. Now, in the state of Texas, there is no death penalty for a person his age, so he's not going to get the death penalty. Parole eligibility after 40 years if he is found guilty on first-degree murder. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the case and some of the reasonings behind why he will probably be guilty in this situation, is I'm going to articulate it for you real quick. First degree murder, there's different levels of murder, right? There's first degree, which means premeditated murder. There's second degree, which murder without premeditation. Third degree murder or manslaughter is a murder that wasn't intentional, but through negligent action, you cause the death of another person. The difference between first and second degree murder, the difference between premeditation and not premeditation is a very thin line that a lot of people don't understand unless you do this, right? Premeditation is a moment. It can be a split second of pre-planning something that will change you from being murdering somebody spontaneously or through premeditation. Let me give you an example of why Austin Metcalf and the Karmelo Anthony situation is a premeditated murder. When you look at the fact that they were in a confrontation, Karmelo knows he has a knife in the bag, nobody else does. So there's a level of concealment of the knife in the bag that others aren't aware of, and Karmelo is aware of that, and he knows the circumstances. So then when he tells them, touch me and see what happens. Now, if Karmelo was arguing and they get into a scuffle, the stuff get crazy, and he stab and he run, that would be a second-degree murder. But when he says immediately out of his mouth, touch me and see what happens, touch me and see what happens, therefore, they've established that he premeditated. That means that when they touched him, he pre-planned that if they hit me, I'm going to reach in the bag and I'm going to stab the kid in the chest. Knowingly, if you are reasonable to know, if you stab somebody in the chest with a knife, that you are causing serious bodily injury or death to that person. That's called reasonableness. A reasonable person should know if you stab a person in the heart that they may die as a result. So when you look at the totality of circumstances, you say that premeditation was established when he said, touch me and see what happens, touch me and see what happens. And they touched him, and he continued down the path of do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, which established premeditation. Now, it wasn't self-defense, and it doesn't appear that it was self-defense. I don't know if it was self-defense, to be honest. I'm not at the court. I didn't see the videos. I don't know what all the evidence they have, and I didn't interview a single witness. Based on the information that we have, it doesn't seem to be self-defense when you have a out, meaning that that people are just verbally asking you to leave. And you couple that not with throwing hands, not with a verbal altercation, but you accelerated your use of force to deadly force, which wasn't what you were combating. You weren't combating deadly force. And so then there's a level of deadly force or use of force or self-defense that has to match what's happening to you. Meaning that if a person slaps you in the face, you could punch them back in their face in defense of yourself, right? They slap you and you think you're getting beat up, so you fight back. You can't, somebody yell at you, you can't have it as a self-defense that you stab them to death. And I want people to understand too that a knife and a gun is the same in the court of law, right? When it comes to whether or not it's a deadly weapon or not. So if you are operating off of a deadly weapon with a deadly weapon and somebody yells at you, you can't use deadly force against that person for yelling at you. And the reason I say they're the same, because if this is no different than you shooting them with a gun. Somebody asks you to leave their tent. No, I'm not leaving that tent. Touch me and see what happened. Touch me and see what happened. They touch him and he shoot him. Boom, 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 boom. Or shoot him once. Boom, right in the face. That's no different than stabbing him. It's no real difference. You use deadly force against somebody whom you claim touched you or argued with you. So I wanted to bring that home and put that in perspective. We could play this clip real quick, because didn't Anton have something to say about it? Yeah. Let's play the clip real quick. It's about 6 minutes, so it's long. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Roll the clip.
Karmelo Anthony is basically being charged for first-degree murder, and he's facing life in prison. They are charging him as an adult. Let me say that one more time. 17-year-old. They're charging him as an adult, and he's facing life in prison, and it's a possibility he won't even get paroled if convicted. If convicted, I want to say that because I do believe in the justice system. If convicted, then he won't even face the possibility of parole until he's about 57 years old. That is 40 years. 40 years. Now, I believe he's already out on bail so that he can prepare his defense. And let me just deep dive into this a little bit, and then we're gonna go into how much money was being raised.
I pretty much said everything Anton is saying, which I respect what he has to say. Y'all can go watch his video on his channel. But I'll add this, and then I'm gonna move on. Like I do think that he should have taken a plea deal. Like I don't know what arrogance his attorneys have that they will put this kid in